Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast in which we smash apart the films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute chunks so we can analyze them in scrupulous detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Road to Infinity podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco, and Kyle.
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite King Kong movie?
Ooh, I'd have to go with Peter Jackson's. One of the
Really?
Yeah, I really liked that movie. I think it's got some issues. It would have worked better as a miniseries. Because that's what spawned Lori's and my favorite expression I talked about, which is "get to the monkey."
Okay.
That's her expression.
Yeah.
Like I'm here to see King Kong. Can you show me King Kong, please? I don't need to see an hour of preview before I get to King Kong. But yeah, I still think it is clearly a labor of love. It's got some issues, but like I've watched every behind the scenes documentary and think about that. I really like that movie.
That is not the answer I thought you were going to give.
Oh, really?
No,
Okay.
I mean, no, because that movie has issues in terms
It does
of
have some problems.
CGI.
It's got
all
some,
over the place.
Right. It's got some pacing stuff.
Jack Black, who I love, that's just a weird. It's a weird role. Like, I mean, I don't know. 1933, the all well-known King Kong movie.
Yep.
They do a sequel, Son of Kong. We won't talk about that. Gets rebooted in 1976, King Kong, which is the one that I certainly remember growing up with.
Climbs
Jessica Lange.
the World Trade Center, right?
Yes, climbs the top of the World Trade Center, all that. That spawns a sequel or two. King Kong Lives with Lady Kong. We won't talk about that. Then we've got your 2005 Peter Jackson, and then 2017 Kong Skull Island, which we have referenced in a few minutes ago.
We have. Yeah, it's true.
So who
Talk
knew?
about Brie Larson. Yeah.
Now, one of the things that you always have a moment in most of these King Kong movies, I believe in 76, and I also think in the Peter Jackson movie, the moment where the beast takes the beauty.
Yes.
And usually a cave and rain is involved,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And there is a moment of, sometimes...
Even in the loosest Kong homage, which I could think would be Iga from the 60s, which MS-23K has done twice at this point, has a scene where the monster takes the woman into the cave. Yeah.
This happens. This is a thing you see from King Kong. It sometimes is done well, sometimes not so well.
Yeah.
But this minute...
Yeah, this is a direct King Kong homage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of in this. I was like, I've seen this before.
We've all seen that before. So here we are at minute 60 of Incredible Hulk from 2008, directed by Louis Leterrier, and we're at the 1 hour mark. Oh, wow. Movie, right? So we're an hour into the movie. So we are coming back into the confrontation. Oh, no. Between Ross and Leonard. Ross is walking away, and Leonard goes, "Oh, wait, I got a good one."
Because he didn't have my line.
He didn't have
From the last minute. Listen to the last minute, and you'll hear it.
Exactly. Ross gets in with a pretty savage cut or whatever, and then Leonard's going to takes it, and then as he's walking away, he's like, "Oh, wait, I got it." And then he hits him with a good zinger. He says, "I used to wonder why she never talked about you. Now I know." Oh, that's pretty good. That's like I don't know if he had that one in his quiver or just came up with it right there, but good job, Leonard. And so, unfortunately, this is the exit of Ty Burrell. This is the last time we're going to see him for the movie. So,
well done, sir.
Man, I hope that guy had a good life after that.
Oh, great, right? What's he doing now?
I know, right? He was, he went on to star in Muppets Most Wanted.
Yes, he did.
He did a great job in that movie.
Among some other things.
Exactly. And some television show. I don't know.
Sure.
But then, as Ross is climbing into the Humvee, he says, "Where does she meet these guys?"
Okay.
And I guess the answer to that is Culver University.
Yeah, exactly.
She's both guys are from Culver University. That's where she is.
So William Hurt. This is the moment where the character is different, right? As he's walking away, he stops, and it's kind of like
he takes the hit, like, ooh,
he takes it.
That stung.
I mean, totally. Just as kind of like you see the shoulders just drop, but he's like,
okay.
And then he delivers this line, like as he's getting in the car. It's kind of funny. Like you need some humor. We haven't had a lot of humor in this movie for a while.
Yeah. This
is typical Marvel, right? Like we need to have some laughs,
right? We come out of a heavy action kind of thing. We need to have some. I would say this is one of two attempts at levity
in this minute.
Oh, yes, it is. So we'll see. So immediately, as they're driving away, then we see that look, the state police are involved. So we get the Stadies drove by,
kind of car is
and
that?
one
What
poor soldier who like didn't get into the Humvee
Didn't get in the car.
comes trotting on by.
You didn't find out what kind of car the state police car is?
I did not.
It's a Chevrolet Impala.
Ooh, look at that! She came through, and I was just like, "It's a police car. That's all you need to know."
It's an Impala when we used to still have sedans, which basically we don't anymore.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
So
it's
anyway.
a dying breed.
Right.
So then immediately we cut to the Hulk. So you can, if you ask any CG artist what it is, they say one of the hardest things to animate is water. So and having a CG character interacting with water is that much more complicated. Right. So we have a real, what we call a plate. We have a real shot of the stream, everything, and then a CG character put on top of it. And so whenever I see these kind of things, just because I'm a little bit of a nerd about this stuff, I always watch the interaction between the CG and the real. And so I would basically spend this whole minute watching his feet.
Oh, right.
Because it's like that's where it's back the water, and it's like okay, like it's not fantastic, but it's like I say, I know it's also really, really hard to do.
Well, because in this instance, what you're not seeing is the ripple wake of his steps.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right. Because there should be like that's heavy, and even in like a couple inches of water,
right,
it should cause mass displacement because he's pushing everything away. But it's a pretty simple shot in terms of just like having him walk away from the camera. And then we cut to a cave. So this scene is actually sort of not lifted, but like it's inspired by a comic book scene. So this is from an homage to Hulk Gray, which was written by Jeff Loeb, who we've talked about on the Road to Infinity podcast quite a bit, and Tim Sale. The two of them have done a bunch of things together, and they had a thing. So their comic series, which I read again in anticipation of this, it doesn't hold up incredibly well because it's also written. It's supposed to be written in the time that it happened, which was like the 1960s or whatever. So like Betty doesn't come across as that great.
Right. We've talked about that. Right?
Yeah. So there's been some interpretation problems in the past, but there is this whole scene of like the two of them in a cave, like having her sort of meeting the Hulk officially for the first time, is sort of homaged out of that. But I gotta say, in all that, the art in that is amazing. Tim Sale's one of my favorite artists, and I've even met him, and so
nice.
He's like his art in it is tremendous. And then that was back when Hulk was gray, which also goes along with this because if you watch carefully, there's a bunch of shots of the Hulk being gray. When the Hulk first showed up, he was gray, and also he came out at night. So when the sun would go down, Hulk would show up and he would be gray through the whole night, and then when the sun came up, he would turn back into Bruce Banner. So that was the original one. So as it went along, he became green, and then it became about rage and all that kind of stuff, but that's how it was. So when you're watching the scene, you can see when the lightning flashes that he looks gray, and that is a homage. That is a definite thing that the artists did to.
Oh, very nice. Not just and to that scene. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it was kind of neat. So then we have the Hulk places Betty down, who's still unconscious, and looks there, and we have the return of something that the Hulk and Bruce Banner have in common. They're both creepers who like to stare at Betty when she doesn't know that she's being watched.
Pretty much.
The return of Creeper Bruce. Yeah, so like as the other, and so, but we have something happens here that is the first time that happens in this movie, and possibly even from the previous one, is that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Betty Ross is the first person to physically hit the Hulk.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. No one has laid a hand on the Hulk up to this point.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right?
They haven't got a chance.
Yeah. So as the Hulk is like in
Even
her
Blonsky
face and she wakes up,
right.
she slaps him across the face.
Right.
Like, hey.
Yeah. She screams.
Yeah, she screams.
Horror.
Yeah, exactly. Like this big green giant glowing-eyed face is hanging out there.
Right.
Like, get away.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, and then and so we have the second attempt at humor is that as the Hulk reacts, he bangs his head against the ceiling, and you can see if you go frame by frame, you can see that he's very clearly gray. As the lightning flashes.
Well, this was a neat way. Not only if you're going to do the homage, but also the technical expertise of this is. So we're in a rainstorm. There's lightning, and so we've got many of these throughout this scene. We've got about 3. I think it's like 3 lightning flashes.
Yeah.
Incredible. We've paused it. We've got our high-res screens here.
Yeah.
looks really good.
It looks
in
really
fact,
good, yeah.
before she hits him, there is a shot of her and him profile. Mm-hmm. The shadow that hits. So clearly she's got a real shadow hitting her. Mm-hmm. The artists matched him perfectly.
Yeah, like the moonlight, I guess it's supposed to be coming in from the side.
Well, or the shot, or the light from the lightning flash.
Yeah.
This is actually, I think, one of the best renders in the entire movie so far of the Hulk.
Yeah.
It looks that good. And then the same thing happens, when it does, and this is also part of the direction.
Yeah.
When he hits the head, it's timed with the lightning flash.
Yeah.
So it's even more evident he's hit his head.
Yeah.
So you can't miss it.
Right. And instead of, what I like is his reaction to it. And we get right before the end is not like, oh, I'm mad at the ceiling now. It's, oh man, not in front of the girl.
It
like,
is.
He's
it
embarrassed.
Totally is.
He's like, oh man, really?
His eyes, you can see it in his eyes too. He's like, ugh. Did she see that?
Yeah. Tell me she wasn't looking.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
And it's so quick.
That's
you
funny.
miss it.
Yeah.
You only get it if you take it apart minute by minute.
Yeah.
Because, it's pretty wonderful. Nice.
So you can analyze them in scrupulous detail?
Oh.
Yeah.
The scrupulosity of this, that's not a word.
Yeah. So we'll find out, can Hulk recover from this terribly embarrassing faux pas? We'll find out in minute 61. So make sure you stay subscribed. In the meantime, if you'd like to do something to help us and also enhance your life, you can find some Marvel Movie Minute or the next reel inspired stuff. We've got clothes, we've got mugs, we've even got pillows.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I know we're supposed to use that.
Yeah.
No, I have breaking news. You're telling me, we've been telling you now, you're an hour into this movie.
Yeah.
And we've been telling you, hey, do you need a new shirt? Or, and stuff.
Next reel logo.
You're telling me if somebody's tired, someone needs a place to place their head in a comforting, safe, loving environment. They can go on here, order a pillow that has our faces on it.
It does.
And they can rest their head on us?
Yes. The artwork that you see on your device that you're listening to this on, of the two of us in fear being reflected in Hulk's eyes, you can have that on a pillow in your very house in whatever size you'd like.
That just sounds like comfort.
Yeah, we'll be with you in these times of tumult.
And where do they go to find this?
You go to nextreel.com/merch. And you can find all the stuff in there. We look forward to seeing your pictures with us from your home or place
beneath your head.
Yes. Okay. Whatever you want. Or you can, the two of us are showing our faces of fear. So maybe the people should show their faces of fear as well and send those in, and we can post them on our social media things.
Please do.
Yeah. We would love that.
Oh, very good.
So hope you had a smashing good time. We'll see you back here for minute 61. Until next time, true believers.
Bye.